Trust meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding for your first alert. The First Alert team, named best in Georgia. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12, First at 4.
Well, good evening. First at 4, we start with two planes colliding in Japan at one of its busiest airports, killing 5 people. What we know so far about that crash coming up. Morning out there, Emily. How long are those cold temperatures going to stick around?
You're going to have to hold on to your jacket a little bit longer, Laura. I know yesterday we saw 60, but we cooled off into the upper 20s. I think we saw 28 here in Augusta overnight, but that has come and gone. We are sitting in the 50s now across the CSRA, so things are warming up this afternoon. Still seeing plenty of sunshine, but we're going to do it all again for our morning tomorrow. So another cold night in store for us. I'm expecting lows in the 20s again, upper 20s, right around 27 actually for the average lows there. But good news is we are expecting to stay dry throughout the greater part of the day tomorrow. Now, once we get into the later afternoon, early evening hours, that's when we could see some rainfall start to move in. And again, that's going to be coming from the southeast or southwest, seeing those showers again push through the state of Georgia, eventually tracking across Carolina and then moving out into the Pacific, but not expecting, or the Atlantic. I'm getting all my coordinates confused there. But once it gets out of our area, shouldn't have any issues there. I'm expecting maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain, so this is really not the big deal in terms of weather this week. That's going to come on Saturday. That's when we're expecting to see some showers that are going to be heavier at times. We could see 1 to 2 inches, but I'll have details on that coming up in just a little bit. But I want to take a quick look at your First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
Taking a look right now at Grovetown. Things are looking pretty good coming off the interstate there. Not having any issues, not really seeing any buildup on the bridge either. So things are looking good. Looking at Riverwatch, or just a little bit off Riverwatch here, just right outside the station. Not too bad. Things are starting to move a little bit smoother, but as we approach the 5 o'clock hour, we know things can change, and we'll have more coverage on the traffic coming up later on in this show and again at 5 p.m. So stay tuned. But I'll have another look at your forecast with some rain in it coming up soon, Laura. All right, thanks, Emily. New this afternoon, Augusta commissioners want to hear from bar owners about. As for air traffic control fatigue, the members of that special group studying fatigue that the FAA administrator mentioned have been picked, and they'll meet in early January. They plan to present their findings to the FAA 6 weeks after that. Horry County police say gunfire erupted on New Year's Eve just before midnight at a bar in Myrtle Beach and killed 2 people. The incident took place at the drinking class bar on Highway 9. A 2-year-old, was killed and is in the hospital. 1 man died at the scene. 2 others were injured. 2 that were near the bar at the time of the shooting gave their thoughts and described it.
It's just not a safe place. I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner.
I was just getting in my car, and the next thing I heard was easy 50, 60 rounds.
People nearby said the neighborhood is quiet, but the people that go to the bar are not. A former employee and others said they think the bar should get shut down. And again, that was 2 people killed, not a 2-year-old killed. Now that it's 2024, senior citizens will be seeing an increase to their Social Security benefits. The Social Security Administration said earlier this fall the recipients will get an annual cost of living adjustment in January. That adjustment comes out to an average of more than $50 a month. It's the 3rd year in a row for payments to go up, but it is a much smaller increase compared to the last 2 years. Officials say the rises are due to inflation. The Wilkes County School District officially welcomed its new superintendent. Michelle Smith's tenure to lead the school district began at the start of the year. She was named as the only finalist back in August by the Wilkes County Board of Education. She served in roles in Wilkes County for 18 years before becoming superintendent, so congratulations to her and Wilkes County's new chapter. Big changes to FAFSA happening. How the changes impact you, coming up. We'll be dropping below freezing overnight tonight, but warming up for our Wednesday. Rain is in the future, though. I'll let you know when coming up.
Time and Thursdays at 4 on News 12.
Taking a look out over Grovetown as people, although I kind of like Groovetown.
I do too.
You should think about it. But taking a look at those blue skies out there as people start to head home. But we're wondering if rain is in the forecast. It certainly doesn't look like it from that sky.
Oh yeah, beautiful out there in Grovetown or Groovetown if you want to call it that. I like it. Oh, you got Funky Town?
Yeah.
There we go. But right now sitting in the lower 50s, so things are a lot cooler than what we saw at this time yesterday, but we're going to continue to cool off overnight tonight, expecting to see lows in the upper 20s. So another cold night in store, but something else I want to point out, we are very dry right now. We're seeing dew points in the low 20s, so that is very dry conditions. There's actually a couple of fires that we're seeing across the area, just some areas of burning, but not anything to be concerned about. Probably should emphasize that before I say the word fire. But anyways, very dry out there, dry conditions. Definitely going to need some chapstick and some lotion for yourself, because again, very dry out there. But good news is not expecting any rainfall until late in the day tomorrow. So we can go about our Wednesday without any concerns until we get into the later afternoon, early evening hours. That's when the rain's going to be coming in. It's actually coming in from the southwest, so pulling in from the Gulf, bringing some moisture across Georgia and then even into South Carolina before moving out into the Atlantic tomorrow. Good news is should be out of our hair by the start of our Thursday, so shouldn't have any issues to kick off our Thursday there. But that's not the only chance of rain we're going to get. So again, I'm starting this time map this evening. That rain's going to push through later in the afternoon, early evening Wednesday. But the next best chance of some widespread measurable rainfall is going to come again late throughout the late morning. I guess it actually might be a little bit more early morning that we are going to see those showers move through. Again, it's going to be heavier at times, so we could see some areas that are flood prone could have some issues, but again, that's going to last throughout the greater part of the day. Unfortunately, Saturday, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain expected for us. But good news is Sunday not looking bad. We are getting these systems kind of in and out whenever they're coming through, and this is that pattern for this time of year. Check out Tuesday, seeing a chance of rain already. So we have late in the afternoon Wednesday, pretty much all day Saturday, and then just forecasting 7 days away, next Tuesday, could see some more showers in our future, Laura. But it's that season where this is not uncommon for January.
All right, we will stay on our toes. Emily, thank you. The new free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, arrived over the holiday break, and there are a lot of changes. Karen Kafa is in Washington with what to know and how the delay could impact colleges and students during the upcoming year.
A trimmed-down version of the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, is now available online.
You never know what federal aid you might be eligible for.
The new FAFSA, which will determine federal aid eligibility for the 2024-25 academic year, has reduced the number of questions for students from as many as 108 to as few as 18. The Department of Education says some applicants can complete the form in less than 10 minutes. The revamp, approved by Congress in 2019 and 2020, is a response to criticism that the previous process was too complicated and simplifies applications in two major ways. First, a tool connected with the IRS will allow all applicants to pull appropriate tax data from their parents' most recent income tax filings with their parents' consent.
The student will go in and say, yes, you can pull any information on file at the IRS for me, and then the parent will also go in and do the same.
Second, applicants can now skip questions that just aren't relevant to them. Also revised, the way aid is calculated. That's expected to boost the number of lower-income students eligible for federal Pell Grants, which do not need to be repaid. But the new calculations eliminate the so-called sibling discount, where students who had a sibling enrolled in college were eligible for more aid. Colleges will begin to receive applicant data in late January, setting a tight clock for institutions that typically send aid award letters in March.
They will be scrambling to get those turned around so that students and families have adequate amount of time so that they can consider all of their options and make their enrollment decision.
And making sure you get that FAFSA aid information in as soon as you can helps things run a lot more smoothly. The squat ban in South Carolina is now a law. Some of the penalties you can face next.
Is your home?
I call my dad.
After a year of explosive growth in the use of artificial intelligence, security experts warn the U.S. is facing increased hacking threats from criminals and foreign governments this election year. Sean Henry, a former FBI executive assistant director, said AI has been able to beat some security systems and has been used to spread misinformation that looks real, and gave his thoughts on what we can do to combat misinformation.
People always have to look at the source of information. You can't just look at something and accept it as true. You've got to verify where it came from. Who's telling the story? What is their motivation? And can you verify it through multiple sources?
He did add he does not think AI is a major threat to voting machines, mostly because the U.S. election system has wide variation state to state on the way people vote.
Grant Me Hope. Finding every foster child their forever home.
Every week, we introduce you to a foster child looking to find their forever home. This week, we're meeting Gabby.
My name's Gabby, and I'm 10 years old. I like to sing, draw, I like to play games on my electronics. I like space. It's unknown. When I grow up, I want to be a singer, because there's a lot of singers I like out there. Like, I was singing about happy things instead of sad songs. When I'm like sad or happy or mad, I'll sing songs out of nowhere. My favorite movie is Encanto, because I like that it's a sing-along and it's talk about powers. My favorite place to travel is, even though I haven't been here, I want to go to New York. Even though it's like so busy, it just looks so cool. Or Tokyo. Tokyo is more cooler. My favorite time of year is summer, because you can have like water fun. You can go to the water park, you can go to a pool, and it doesn't have to be an inside pool, it could be an outside pool. Perfect mom and dad would be like where they actually love me and they give each and every one of their kids the same amount of love as they give me. What adoption means to me is where you have a forever home. What I'm looking for is a home that have like kids that are older than me, but like actually like a happy teenager. Kids that are my same age, so I could play dress up and stuff with them. I care about people, and I always think about them. I like to help a lot. My name is Gabby, and I'm looking for a forever home.
Sweet little girl. And if you want to learn more about Gabby or any foster children featured in our Grant Me Hope segment, you can go to our website, wrdw.com. Just search Grant Me Hope. There's an update to the squatted car ban in South Carolina. The grace period expires on May 10th. After that, you can be fined $100 for the first time, and it increases from there. Squatted vehicles are defined as having the front of the vehicle 4 or more inches higher than the back. They say it creates a safety hazard. You can't see the road appropriately. You could be cited for other offenses during the stop, of course, as well.
What our officers are doing as well is, if a vehicle is stopped and issued a warning for the squatted truck law violation, they are taking that opportunity to also look at other violations that tend to accompany this trend with the squatted trucks. For example, dark tinted windows, tinted windshields, loud exhaust.
If you get more than 3 tickets, you could lose your license. Even the Cosmos decided to send 2023 off with a show. What NASA captured on New Year's Eve. Next. Overnight tonight, we can see the 20s again, so a cold start to our Wednesday, but rain is in the forecast. I'll let you know when, coming up. 2023 ended with
right now and take the Power Swab's 5-minute challenge. If your teeth aren't a full 2 shades whiter after your first application, simply return it and you'll get your money back.
2023 ended with an incredible light show from space. NASA captured these spectacular images of a strong solar flare erupting from the sun. Happened Sunday afternoon as the color changed from pink to that yellow-orange mixture into a blue-green color. The white flash on the left side of the photo shows the solar flare. Solar flares are massive bursts of energy. They can impact radio communications and even pose a risk to astronauts. So pretty cool images. They call it New Year's Eve. Like, I don't know if the universe is trying to tell us something, warning, I don't know. But
What I'm getting from this is that's going to be my new background on my phone. That's going to be my lock screen.
that would work for you.
It would.
My kids would be offended if it were me, but you know what? As a meteorologist,
True.
you can pull it off.
Sometimes I'll have hurricanes on there, but I feel like that's really cool. I liked looking at that. Something else that's pretty cool. Overnight tonight, we're going to see lows drop off several degrees colder than what we're currently seeing, which is in those lower 50s right now, but we'll see the upper 20s to start off our Wednesday. So definitely gonna need to bundle up before you head off to work or school. So it's gonna be a cold day, partly cloudy. It's gonna see a chance of rain though, coming in later in the afternoon.
Okay, that'll do it for us, but we have more news coming right up. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
An important message. You're watching News 12, First at 4, continues.
Court documents about associates of Jeffrey Epstein set to be unsealed today. We'll take a look at those documents coming up. Plus, gonna give you a live look over Grovetown here right now. Blue skies, chilly morning, and Emily, you say more chilly weather is on the way.
Yeah, unfortunately, do not need to hang up that winter jacket just yet. Good news is the afternoons are a little bit more bearable. We've seen the low 50s, at least this afternoon. Yesterday, we hit right around 60. It was nice. It was sunny. But today, sky conditions are just as good, just a little bit on the cooler side than, again, what we saw yesterday. But cold mornings to start us off. So definitely need those winter jackets out there. And something else that's really helping it feel even more crisp and cool is those dew points. So that's how we kind of measure humidity. And now if it's really dry out there, that really makes it feel super crisp. So feels even cooler out there for us. But good news is going to stay dry throughout most of the day tomorrow. So we are tracking some rain. That's not going to come in until later in the afternoon, really early evening. That's when we're going to see some showers. Widespread but light showers move through really the state of Georgia and then going off into Carolina, but should be out of our hair for the start of Thursday. So Thursday is looking dry. Might even see the sun for the greater part of the day Thursday. And now looking at the wind chill, again, not seeing any big concerns there. A couple of days ago, we were seeing a big difference, but things have calmed down in terms of wind speeds. I think wind gusts got up to about 20 on Sunday. So things are calming down for us before that front moves through and bringing some rainfall with it. But before we go, I want to take a quick look at First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
Taking a look over, and that is not the traffic. There we go. Overlooking Beach Island right now, and now we're switching over to here in Riverwatch, or just off of Riverwatch Parkway. We're seeing a little bit of backup starting to come here by the station. Again, that's starting to get that 5 o'clock traffic for us. Seeing those cars start to back up for us, but nonetheless, I'll have one more check on your weather. Things are staying pretty calm for us right now in terms of traffic, but weather, I will have another update coming up soon.
All right, thank you, Emily. Wellstar MCG Health changing its family presence plan since they're seeing a spike in flu cases. In a statement, they say the younger and older patients are at greater risk if they're exposed to the flu, of course. They typically do this when we see those spikes. So under the new guidance, kids under 18 cannot go beyond the second floor of either the adult or the kids hospital, Children's Hospital of Georgia, or inpatient care. There are exceptions to the guideline if they are cleared after a screening, but a heads up, they have those rules in place right now. A suspect in a deadly shooting on Telfair Street has been arrested. 34-year-old Michael Mims, wanted for the shooting back on December 12th that killed a 19-year-old. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office found the teenager, Tyler Smith, and took him to the hospital where he died. The area of North Augusta by the Savannah River is changing. It's already changed a lot in the last few years. We know the Green Jackets moved to North Augusta, so did a hotel. We've got the Crown Plaza over there, several restaurants, businesses, shops. Then the city opened up the Sharon Jones Amphitheater. Hallie Turner live along the river. She tells about future plans for that area.
Well, the North Augusta riverfront continues to expand, and actually just a couple of minutes ago, they moved us from all the way down there to block off the entire amphitheater up here so that they can begin construction on major changes in the coming weeks. Now, construction on the boat dock and the overlook just started. Silver fencing, big chunks of red dirt, a row of black tarp, and this blue bin were the only signs of work on the riverfront view up until about 3:50 this afternoon, and now they're blocking off the entire amphitheater. It's a project totaling more than $900,000. The American Rescue Plan will fund $600,000 of it, while more than $300,000 will come from the Aiken County Watercraft Tax. The area sees a ton of people on a daily basis, and many families were out today riding their bikes, enjoying the area, and city leaders say these new additions will give the surrounding restaurants a little more space for those who want to come and hang out. And those in the community say they're really excited.
I think it's a wonderful addition. I mean, if people can, come here with their boats and don't have to just take parking spots all the time, it'll be nice.
So if you exercise in this area, the important thing to note is if you're coming up here by the amphitheater, it is blocked off, and there could be some more changes coming within the next few weeks.
Okay, excited to see that progress. Hallie, thanks for sharing those updates. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office arrested a man in connection to the death of a 3-year-old in a traffic accident on New Year's Day on I-520. Officials charged Joseph Wiggins from Augusta with homicide and driving under the influence, along with child endangerment and other charges. They responded to the scene last night where he hit the back of a tow truck. A passenger in the front seat also was seriously injured in that crash. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is looking for a teen that's missing. They say Talisha Holmes was last seen December 30th. In the morning near the High Point Crossing apartments on Richmond Hill Road. Officials say she's known to hang around the Harrisburg area, so if you know where she is, call the Sheriff's Office. The names of people associated with late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein could be unsealed as early as today. As CBS News correspondent Nancy Chen reports, some powerful people could be named in those court documents.
Nearly 4.5 years after Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide in a New York federal prison, names of Epstein's associates, employees, and alleged victims are expected to be unsealed in court documents related to a 2015 settled civil suit involving Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for helping Epstein groom and sexually abuse underage girls. Maxwell and Epstein have been accused of running a sex trafficking operation. In 2020, alleged Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre told Gayle King she believed Maxwell likely had incriminating information on high-profile people.
People like who? People well-known names?
Very well-known names. The government officials, the politicians, the royalty.
Giuffre accused Epstein and Maxwell of sex trafficking her to Britain's Prince Andrew when she was 17. He denied her allegations, and they settled out of court in 2022. Former President Bill Clinton, who has never been accused of any wrongdoing connected to Epstein, can also be named in the unsealed documents. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman says this is believed to be the final document dump related to Epstein.
I think it's highly significant for documents to be unsealed so that the complete story of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell can be made public. We need to know, as members of the public who have an interest in keeping women and young girls, children, safe from predators.
We reached out to a representative for former President Clinton who pointed us to a statement from 2019 that said he knows nothing about Epstein's crimes.
The judge in this case did allow anyone who did not want to be named to come forward and petition the court to keep their name a secret. The trial against Atlanta rapper Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug, and more than 24 other people affiliated with his record label, resumed today. There's Shannon Stillwell, charged with murder, along with RICO and gang charges. Jeffrey Williams appeared in court as well. The first witness called to the stand today was a former security officer at an Atlanta mall. Prosecutors questioned him about a 2015 case where Williams and another man were on hoverboards. They supposedly threatened the officer's supervisor that they would shoot him in the face if he approached them. Then the defense cross-examined the officer.
And the people on the hoverboard made it known, and they did leave the mall. fair to say?
Yes.
And then they went peacefully to their car.
Yes.
The guard also testified he had a stroke recently and said he was not able to recall everything from the day. Over in South Carolina, two twins are walking across the country 10 to 20 miles in each state they visit to raise money for their nonprofit benefiting foster kids called Foster Kids Matter. So far, the Woods twins have visited more than 20 states, at one point walking from Sumter, South Carolina to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They returned home to friends, and at a YMCA in Sumter, they spoke about what they're hoping to achieve.
Just want to continue to push hope, continue to encourage kids all over the world, and let people know that foster kids matter. Yeah, we just want to let everybody know that we're going to continue to do what we said we're going to do and continue to be a voice for kids all around the world that's voiceless.
Such an important mission, and they returned and made it back safely and had a party on New Year's Day, so glad that their message is getting out. A touching float to honor organ donors was at the Tournament of Roses parade. The celebrity and their reason behind it coming up.
And we'll see those upper 20s again overnight tonight, but that's not the only concern for tomorrow. We do have some rain in the forecast, and I'll let you know when coming up.
Is our middle name.
Taking a look outside of a river watch at I-20 on a gorgeous afternoon. And Emily, you say that we've got more cold temperatures in our future.
Yeah, unfortunately we do. Each morning we've been seeing those upper 20s, bitter start to our day, but good news is the afternoons aren't terrible. We're seeing temperatures yesterday hit 60, but this afternoon those lower 50s. Now the trend will continue tomorrow, but we're going to add the factor of rainfall along with it. Again, that's going to come in later on in the day, and I'll have a model to show you guys that in just a second. But again, overnight we're expecting to see the 20s, so very cold start to our morning. Be sure to give yourself a couple extra minutes as you're heading out the door to let your car defrost. But tracking rain late Wednesday, so later on in the afternoon, early evening, and even into the overnight hours. But the good news is we're ending our week, our work week at least, dry for us. But once we get into Saturday, gonna see some more showers there. But good news is we are dry and mostly clear right now. We've had a gorgeous day out there, but that's gonna take a turn as we go throughout the day. Wednesday gonna be partly cloudy skies lasting throughout the greater part of the day, but then once we get to around 4 p.m., that's when we could see some rain start to creep in again from the southwest, and then that's going to continue to track northward and cross over the CSRA. But it's going to be light rainfall for us, but pretty steady for the evening hours. But once we get through the overnight, things are calming down, starting off our Thursday clear, so we're going to have mostly sunny skies for our Thursday. So looking forward to that. But here's a step back and just a bigger model of what we can expect over the next couple of days. Again, cloud cover will increase throughout the day tomorrow before those showers start to move through. And again, that's going to last throughout the evening into a little bit of the overnight hours. But Thursday, looking sunny. Friday, looking mostly sunny, but a little bit of cloud cover will come into play later on in the day. But Saturday, that's when we can expect to see some widespread rainfall, heavy at times, but that's going to start really early Saturday morning, and that's going to track throughout the greater part of the day. So again, it's going to be heavy at times, lasting throughout much of your Saturday, but good news is by the time Sunday rolls around, those showers will be out of our hair. But just kind of be aware, hey, if you got stuff going on Saturday, just know going to see some showers there. And we kind of have three chances of rain over the next 7 days. Again, Wednesday, some lighter showers. Once we get into Thursday, could see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches. Saturday for that second system. And then next Tuesday, that's when we could see another chance of rain coming in. So again, looking at the 7 day, we have Wednesday night, all day Saturday, and then next Tuesday, that's just a broad blanket there. We'll get timing a little bit closer to Tuesday for us. But overall, a very January pattern for us, Laura.
All right, thanks, Emily. This year's Tournament of Roses Parade, a special float, honored organ donors and recipients. Danya Backus introduces us to a hip-hop artist who's benefited greatly and given back in return.
Among the bands and floats at this year's Tournament of Roses Parade was hip-hop artist Freeway.
We still hustle till the sun come up.
The rapper was boosted to stardom in the early 2000s as a member of Jay-Z's Rockefeller Records. But at the parade, he was recognized for something other than his music.
When I was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure back in September 2015, instead of hiding what I was going through from the world, we immediately stood in front of it. Mr.
Freeway, whose real name is Leslie Pridgeon, received a life-saving kidney transplant in 2019 after spending 4 years on dialysis. In 2020, when his son Jihad died unexpectedly, the family made the decision to pay it forward.
That moment when they came to me in a hospital and asked me and my family, will we let him be an organ donor? It meant everything to me because I know what it felt like. I was on dialysis for 4 years, so I know what it feels like to wait for a life-sustaining kidney. So it was no question.
Jihad's donation saved 4 lives. He and other organ, eye, and tissue donors were honored on the One Legacy Donate Life float with a fluorograph.
The experience was breathtaking.
While his passion is still music, Freeway says advocacy is now his purpose. Monday, he rode on the float beside his son's image with other transplant recipients, honoring the donor who saved his life and uplifting the memory of his son who saved others. Danya Backus, CBS News, Pasadena, California.
A very special float, and the One Legacy float won the Judges Award for Dramatic Impact. Freeway has also started the Freedom Thinkers Academy to raise awareness in music, health, and education. Did you resolve to
stop drinking or smoking or maybe start a good habit for the new year? I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up with some smartphone apps to help keep you on track to make those resolutions last.
9999.
If you made some New Year's resolutions, you're going to need some help keeping them. According to a new study, only 46% of people manage to keep their resolutions at least 6 months into the new year. But help could be as close as your smartphone. Our consumer tech reporter, Jamie Tucker, has rented up some apps to help break bad habits or start good ones.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
I was talking to a cashier at a convenience store, and I asked her, do you sell any cigarettes on January 1st? She said almost never, but by January 3rd, it's back to business as usual. Well, if you've resolved to stop smoking or drinking or maybe something else, these apps can help keep you on track. The most popular ad to help stop smoking is Smoke Free Quit Smoking Now. A bot sends messages to motivate users, keeps a running tally of days quit and how much money you've saved. It's free for Android and iPhone. A subscription with more features is $7 a month. For kicking an alcohol habit, the app I Am Sober boasts over 130,000 ratings and 4.9 stars. It tracks days of sobriety, sends motivational messages, and connections to others who've resolved to cut down or cut out alcohol completely. For those struggling with a pornography addiction, the app Covenant Eyes is an accountability partner that will block porn on all of your devices. It also uses AI to monitor messages and blur photos that it determines may be explicit or suggestive. And if you choose, you can have the app send messages to an accountability partner who is using the app. Covenant Eyes and his companion app Victory work on iPhones and Android devices. And if improving mental health tops your 2024 goals, the app Stoic aims to help you sleep and live a happier life through journaling. Stoic offers a personalized daily planner and sends prompts throughout the day to inspire and motivate users to add to a journal. Stoic also blocks distracting apps and limits screen time. Of course, using an app doesn't guarantee you're going to keep those New Year's resolutions, but it can help. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
According to a survey by the New York Times, 45% of adults will make at least 3 New Year's resolutions. The most common goals are to exercise more, to save money, and to improve mental health. With the SEC out of the running for a national championship for the first time since 2014, we're just all trying to put our starters behind us, move on to high school basketball season. Richmond Academy giving us every reason to look their way. It's been a while since we've seen the Richmond Academy team like this. I think I'm going to toss it over to Alyssa, though, because...
Why not? I mean, why not, Laura? Right. Well, yeah, we haven't seen a team like this probably since 2018, 2019. And by this point in the season, they actually surpassed. They were 10-3 that year. This season, they are now 11-2. And on paper, you could say this this team is working off of experience. They have 16 years, 5 juniors, and 2 freshmen. They went 10 games without being in the losing column, which really hasn't been done since '09 when they went to the state semis. The hardest stretch for the Musketeers starts this week when they try to float their way through a choppy region schedule. It all begins with Morgan County this Friday night. And speaking of basketball, you won't have to go too far to get all your Atlanta Hawks coverage. Starting January 12th, the Hawks will be back on the CW when they take on the Pacers. 10 games are slated to appear on our sister station. It's all part of the partnership with our parent company, Gray Television.
Taylor drives to the...
Well, we have a cold but calm night in store for us, but rain is in the forecast. I'll let you know when coming up.
And coming up, we're introducing you to a very special set of twins with quite the birth story.
Trust meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding for your first alert.
A set of twins born overnight on New Year's Eve in southern New Jersey do not share the same birth date or even the same birth year. Here's mom and dad holding twins Ezekiel and Ezra. Older brother Ezra was born at 11:48 on New Year's Eve. Slightly younger brother Ezekiel born at 12:28 on New Year's Day. So one's born in 2023, the other in 2024. The icing on the cake, Ezra shares his birthday with his dad, who was also born on New Year's Eve. What a story, and being married to a twin, I can tell you that is going to be a sticking point, that one is way older than the other, you know.
That
One
is so cool,
going to
though.
act like the big brother.
I always wonder about that. You know, I say every New Year, I'm like, ooh, I wonder if there's going to be twins born. One each year, or one on one year, one the other. So, I don't know. I love that story. I think that's
pretty
so cool. Very cool there. Switching things over to weather this afternoon, we reached those middle 50s in some spots, lower 50s in others, but we're starting that decline as we head into the later part of our evening and overnight hours. We can expect to see lows in the 20s again. So a cold start to our Wednesday. Definitely need to bundle up there. And like I said, we are slowly but surely declining. A little bit of cloud cover will come into play overnight tonight. So some spots might be a little bit warmer, but overall a cold start to our Wednesday. But we're going to warm up. Not see the sun all day, but sometimes we can see a little bit of partly cloudy skies. We'll warm up into those lower 50s again. But overall, not a bad work week. We do have a chance of rain tomorrow and then again on Saturday, Laura.
Okay, that'll do it. Live at 5 is coming up with Meredith Anderson.